Hi, I'm John. Today we're going to make the Decora plate, or the rocker. For this one we're going to use this piece right here, which matches the two toggle switches right here. Oops. And if that one for some reason doesn't work, we have a backup. This was supposed to be a cable hookup, cable jack, and it is part of the set, so if this first one doesn't work, we have this for a backup. So let's get to it. Alright, step one, what we're going to do is we're going to chamfer the edge. We put a slight chamfer on here, and with that we can either use a stone, a wet stone. This is 100 grit wet sandpaper. Here, let me show you. This is what I've been using. I had the less expensive stuff, and it's not worth it. This holds up. This is well worth it. This is 100 grit. You can go down to 80. I wouldn't go any lower. And I'm using folded on a piece of stone, which is perfectly flat. And it just takes a few times. And there we have our chamfer right here. So next step, if you want, you can always also, for any tile setters out there, anybody knows how to use a buffer, if it's on a drill, these are alpha pads. They work dry. They're color coded for coarseness and fine. If you have a grinder, it works on a grinder better. Alright, step one, next step is we're going to center the switch plate on the piece. Okay, there we go. And make sure you use a flat piece. As far as the switch plate, I have, this is the one you don't want to use. It's nice, they bend and they don't break, but they're pillowed. And when you flatten them down like this, they're going to stretch and it's going to offset your holes. Okay, after this, what we're going to do, we're going to mark out, just like the other plates. And with the 3/16 inch steel bit, oh, there we go. Don't cover your holes. Just give it a couple. There we go, we're in the center. There we go. Now, just mark them so you can see them when the water hits. And this one's ready to go. I'll see you at the drill press. At the drill press, we're using a 3/16 inch granite bit. This is called a groovy tip. The nice people at Amazon sent it over. Works really nice. Let's turn some water on. And these are the pilot holes for your plate screws, and on low speed. I'm going to change the bit, and we're going to put in the piece to make the taper. Okay, for the taper, all we're using is a stone. These are just hobby stones that you can buy anywhere. They're very cheap. We just want to touch it just a little bit. It's going to work really fast. Let's turn some water on. We have our taper, and next step, we're going to bore out these holes right here. We're going to open up the ends before we take it to the grinder. So let me change the bits. Okay, we're using a 1/2 inch bit, and what we're going to do is we're going to start in the corner. We want to just get the bit right up to the line. We want to still see a little bit of a line when we're done. Let's get some water going. It's the only problem with the smaller bits. Okay. Now we can clean the slot out. This is what we're looking for. And there we have it. You still see the line, the corners. We just need to take down just a little bit more, and we need to flatten. Now we're going to take it to the grinder, and we're going to cut out the centers. Okay, at the grinder, it's a water feed, cordless. What I do is find center, and I line up. It's called a gig line. Here's the center of the body. Eyeball that down to the center of your arbor, and we're right there. We want to be right on the line. We want to cover the line just a little bit on the outside. Okay, let's get the water going. Okay, that's what you should look like. This is a thicker piece, so we didn't go through the back, but I can tell where we are, so now we just have to cut out the back. Oops, a little more. There we have it. Now we're going to take it to the filing station, and we're going to clean this up and get it ready for the milling. See you over there. Okay, at the filing station, first thing I like doing is taking the switch itself and making sure that we're inside. We've got enough clearance for this. I've already looked, and we're centered out. I just have to touch the lines. And just like the other plates, take your time. And in this case, there's only two files we use. We're going to use the rasp file, carbide, and we're going to use the big guy, big flat one. These are where the blade, these little spots here, this is where the blade doesn't hit. No big deal, it comes out really fast. Okay, we have just, you can still see the line. We want to get just past the line. And that's pretty close right there. You can still see the line. This will take care of the rest. Just a little bit left. Let's check it before we go any farther. Okay, we're lined up with the screw hole, and now we can do the other side. A little bit more. Okay, let's take it down the rest of the way. And like the other filing, never stay in one spot too long. Always move it around. Now let's check here. That looks pretty good. I can still see a little bit of the line here. Let's check it before we go any farther. Okay, we're just a little bit on the bottom. I can still see some of the line. Alright, looks pretty good. There we go. Holes line up. I'm just a smidge off here, which means, and it's tight, so I just need to take a little off here. It's a little rough right there. And with that one, we use the big file. Let's give it a check. We're pretty good. It's a little uneven right here. I just want to fix that. A little on the left. I can still see just a smidge of the line right here. That should do it. That looks square. And there we have it. Holes are lining up. After this, we're taking this to the milling station, which is the drill press, and we're going to take down the back. We're going to thin just under half of this. So I'll set that up. Okay, back at the drill press. This is the milling station. In the other videos, I warned you about going larger than a 2-inch or 1 3/4. I finally got my bit back from the job. This is a 3-inch monolith. This is a $200 bit. This is very rigid, very strong. There is no problems with these. The cheaper bits, they will flex on you. This will not flex. With the back facing up, we're going to shave this down until we get about 5/16, just under 5/16. This is going to get a little loud, so turn your sound down. Let's get the water going. Let's adjust this a little bit here. Adjust, see where we're at. Just about another 16th. reset this. All right. Any of you that watched the other videos, you can see how fast this is going compared to the other bits. I just have just a smidge to take off here. Let's reset. Everything right there. That's where I want to be. Always clean up at the end. Go through it a few times, clean it off. Okay, after this, we're going to mark out for the back of the switch plate so the switch fits in correctly. Okay, for this step, all we're doing is putting the switch in and we're marking around it. Let me get some marks here so I know where I'm at. Okay. Now what I'm using is a 5/8 inch bit. I'm going to set it up so that it's just about a 1/16 of an inch. Just under a 1/16 of an inch for the switch ears, or the tabs as they call it. Let's see if we're going to probably have to reset this one time. Let's get some water going. Here, I'll dry cut it. Just a little lower. Yeah, right there. Okay, let's turn on the water. Okay, if you notice how it was jumping around, That is because of the all the pores in here. As you're moving along, all of a sudden you hit a hole or a divot or a pore, and it lets you, and it just jumps you a little bit. It's not a big deal. Okay, here's our first routing. The second routing is the switch screws, and these are the screw holes. This is where the switch screws go into the box. I open it up just a little bit because I want it a little bit larger for the bit I'm using. Plus it guarantees that the screw head will fit in there. And for that, what I'm going to do is use a 1/4-inch bit. Let's see, where do I go? Here's my 1/4-inch. Okay, what we're going to do here, once the water is on, we're just going to plunge. I'm going to do 3 plunges, one on each end, on the end, center, and the end. And then we're just going to rotate it around in there, inside the divots that we made. So let's get some water going. Low speed. And that should be it. Let's get the switch. There we go. On a regular switch plate, this particular switch always protrudes from the face. So this is exactly what we want. Everything's inside. Tabs are inside. This one's done.